Hi guys, so as promised, here's a little video just introducing smartCAT for Tibetan. In the future I'll do, very detailed videos for each of the pieces of smartCAT, but for now I'll just give the general overview. So if we go to our homepage, smartcat.ai, we can create an account if we haven't yet. Otherwise, you should just log in. Here, you should feel confident using Google or Facebook. I've heard some people express concerns with these sorts of sites, worrying that maybe they'll get their password. But, these days even Google and Facebook don't know your password, so they wouldn't be able to share it even if they wanted to. They use some complicated mathematical algorithms instead. So here I'm going to go to my personal account. I have a few accounts. And then let's just show, this is the main smartCAT interface. On the left hand side here you can see that we have our projects and our resources. Some other things in resources, we have glossaries and translation memory. Translation memory is kind of like a glossary, except it's at the phrase or sentence level, and you don't need an exact match for it to come up. And then you have some other options here, and mainly that's for people who are using smartCAT as freelance translators and they're looking for jobs, or businesses that are using smartCAT to look for translators. So here let's go straight to our project, smartCAT demo, and let's just open it up so I can show you what smartCAT is and what it does. So the main thing smartCAT gives us are what are called CAT tools. CAT stands for Computer Assisted Translation. And what this is are some tools that give us automatic and instantaneous access to our personalized glossaries and to our previous translations and our in-progress translations. So to show you what this means, here's the main project interface for smartCAT. You can see we have a toolbar up here with all our various options. This is our main smartCAT place where we'll be doing most of our translating. We can resize these. So you can see that smartCAT has split things into translation segments for us. On the left we have our Tibetan source language, on the right we have our target English. And so whenever we go to a certain segment, you see here's our CAT, and it automatically jumps up with any Tibetan that it finds that matches either the glossary or the translation memory. So anything that's in our glossary will come up here. Anything that's translation memory, TM, that's from a previous translation pops up here. So you can see that this is 100% matches, various level matches. For example here, thus have I heard at one time, then some 93% matches. These are all slightly different. You see some have commons, others don't. Thus have I heard, thus did I hear, etc. So this is all drawing from 84,000. I did parallel corpus for the translation memory of 84,000 translations. That's where it's grabbing that from. And whenever you choose one of these, you can just press Control 4, Control 3. You see it changing here. Control 6, 7, and then it just automatically jumps there. I don't have to type it in again. And if I find anything that I want to be in my glossary for later, I can just highlight it, Control E, and dump my English term in there and save it for later. Anytime it comes up again, it will remind me in the CAT tool, oh, this is your glossary entry for that term. So what's nice about that is it's, again, automatic and instantaneous. There's no need to look it up again, and there's no need to, worry of, did I remember to translate this the same way as I translated it before? It's automatically coming up there to remind you. Some other cool things smartCAT gives us are search tools. And basically, it gives us concordance searching. So that gives us the context of the search, not just the search term itself. So here's your concordance search. down here, let me make it more visible for you. Here's your concordance search. You can search in the source, the Tibetan, or the target, the English, any term. For example, this is a translation of a text about Maitreya, so let's look up Jampa. And here I have every instance of Jampa that has been translated before, all 69 entries. You can see a lot of Maitreya, 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 a lot of segments containing loving kindness as well. And so you can kind of check, as well as full sentence level context, what was that search term, and you can do the same in English. Now the third thing smartCAT gives us are a bunch of handy management tools. It allows us to track our progress while we're translating, as well as filter our in-progress translation by a bunch of different variables, and it allows us to also access our edit history. So when I'm looking here in my main translation part, you can see some of these segments I have marked as done. Others of them are not yet finished. So let's mark one as done. For example, okay, I accept that translation as done. It has a comment there, so I can look at that. I can also filter these results. So confirmation, I can see all the segments that I've confirmed as done. You can see I've confirmed the first 4 here, so I can check those. Or I can just focus on what has been unconfirmed. And I have a bunch of different filter options, and I won't go through them now. I'll save that for a later video, but just know that, you know, you're able to have some powerful tools for searching. Let me clear the filters. And let's look down here. You can see it's also saving all the revisions that I do. It's time-stamping them and also telling which user made that change. So it's very easy to go and restore one of these if you change your mind about, oh, this was the wrong one. Collaboration tools. That's the 4th thing. So it allows you to chat with your other translators and other editors. You can either translate by person, by segment, or by document. So here I have some comments in the document, and I also have some comments in some different segments. Here, let's find all the comments, all the segments that have comments. And then that allows me to go through and look at just those segments in particular. Oh, this is a comment to segment 2. Let's imagine that someone else wrote that. This is a reply to your comment on segment 2. So it allows you to chat with your co-translators, and they'll see that instantaneously. And let's clear the filters again. And so it allows you very easy tools for collaborating with your fellow translators. You know, it also has options for editing if you're doing an editing process. It has options for assigning different parts of the translation to different translators if you're managing a translation. A whole range of collaborative and management work tools. And you can see here there's a chat you can go to separate from the document where you can chat just with different people. This is my personal account, so I don't have any friends that I can chat with, but that is an option as well, so that's good to know. So finally, this is my email, dirk@cloudedcat.com. You can feel free to write me anytime with any questions. Again, I hope to make more videos like this in the future, detailing, you know, each step of the process and each feature of smartCAT to kind of give you a more in-depth view of all those options. The other thing you can do is you can email me at this email, and I'll add you to a group translation project, which is basically the same sutra that I've had up here, and that will allow you to kind of look through it just as I've done here, and just check it out and give it a test drive in a totally open space. So thank you.